Hello everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Joseph Pisani and I am a technical specialist here with Mevo. And today is Ask Mevo Anything, so thank you for joining me. If this is your first time joining the show, we here at Mevo, we do shows twice a week. And on our shows, we like to engage with our users and ask questions live. So if you have questions or if you have issues or troubles that you're having with your Mevo and you want us to answer those live on the show, just put those in the comments. We are broadcasting to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Mevo Live. So we do shows twice a week. Our shows are on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. On Tuesdays is our Ask Mevo Anything show, and on Thursdays is our Mevo Live show. So the difference being, on Tuesdays, we try to use a single cam Mevo or the Multicam app and kind of show you what you could do using just the Mevo. And then on our Thursday Mevo Lives, we expand what the Mevo can do. So we use different forms as far as like webcam, NDI, supplying video to different platforms like OBS and things like that. Great. So we also have some special stuff going on right now. If you are joining us for the first time, check this out. This is something that we are doing twice a month. We're actually going to be giving a Mevo start to our users. And the only thing you need to do in order to enter the drawing is just participate in our shows. So what we do is we go back and look at who's participating the most. We add them to a list, and then every 2 weeks we spin a wheel, and then the winner of that drawing from that raffle gets a free Mevo start. We've actually already had a few winners already from some of our more active users. So this happens bi-weekly. And we'll be doing this twice a month, and there is no limitation to how many times you can win, but you can't win twice in the same month. So no back-to-back victories allowed on that one. Great. All right, so let's see what else I got here for you. And of course, we have the Mevo referral program. So if you are a Mevo user right now and you want to expand your Mevo universe, I guess, or our Mevo universe, I guess. If you want to recommend a friend or family purchase a Mevo, you can actually save them a little bit of money. So you can go to mevo.com/referral or mevo.com/refer. This is specifically for mevo.com purchases in the US only. And you can give your friend or family a custom code to get 5% off of their purchase. When your friends and family use your custom code, you actually get 5% back on your end as well. So that is mevo.com/referral or mevo.com/refer. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive in. Again, my name is Joseph Pisani. I am a technical specialist here with Mevo. And like I said, if you have any questions, let's answer them live today. So let's go ahead and do just that. Let's dive into the chat. So again, at Mevo Camera, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Okay. All right. Diving right in. Fred the Hippo chiming in. The first one, Fred the Hippo, if you don't know, is actually one of our winners of our raffle. He's just saying hello to everyone. Hi, Fred. How are you? Hope things are well on your end. Marco says he wants to promote our equipment for sports fishing tourism in Brazil. So thanks for reaching out to us from Brazil. That's absolutely awesome. Definitely send us some videos if you've used that before and show us how it turns out. Ryan from Facebook is saying hello, saying hi to the chat. Lyle from Facebook is asking the question, is there a monthly fee for using the system? So this is a great question. Thank you for asking that, Lyle. So technically, no. You can absolutely use the Mevo single cam app or the Mevo multicam app for free. You can use graphics. You can do all your cropping and zoom settings, all your production gestures. You can absolutely do. The only thing that you would need a subscription for would be if you want to restream your account to multiple destinations. So for something like that, you'd have to sign up with either Vimeo or Restream or a number of other companies that support that. If you're using just the Mevo, you're doing one destination per stream. So what I'm coming to you today, let's talk a little bit about my setup. I am using a single camera Mevo right here in front of me. I have the audio running to that Mevo from a microphone, it's a little out of frame right here, but it's the Blue Bluebird. I'm sure if you've watched this show before, you've seen us use that before as well. This Blue Bluebird is actually routed to a audio mixer. It's an analog mixer. And then from the output of that mixer, I'm going into the 3.5 millimeter input on the back of my Mevo Start. So I'll give you an idea what that looks like there. See if I can get some light on that. There we go. So right there's a 3.5 millimeter input, and that's what's coming out of my mixer for my audio. And this is all being done through a single cam Mevo. I am then sending this stream using Rtmp to Restream. Now, Restream is a service that you have to pay for to restream to multiple destinations. So to answer your question, that's where the subscription would come in. And that's how I'm able to go to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Mevo.com. Or at Mevo Camera, excuse me. At Mevo Camera, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Cool. Thanks for that question. Okay, Wolfgang saying hello. Hello, Wolfgang. Leo, nice to hear from you. Hercules Entertainment. I'm having an issue with my media, unable to play when I transfer. It says MP4, but I also cannot convert them. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so Hercules Entertainment, this might be a question you want to open up a ticket with for us. If you're having issues, I'm unable to play when I transfer. You have to unpack that a little bit for us. So what I would do if I were you is open up a ticket, go to help.mevo.com, and either myself, Joe or Will or Greg now, or even Andy now, will be happy to sit in the tickets and go over that with you. What's happening is, well, I don't really know what you mean. Are you talking about playback on the Mevo, or are you talking about playback in a third party on like a computer or something? So open up a ticket with us and we'll check that out for you. All right. Okay, Jose saying thanks, guys. Oh, hello, guys. Jason Hoffman, always a pleasure to hear from you. Good afternoon. A lot of everyone saying hi. John from South Africa is saying hi on Facebook. Hello, John. Thanks for joining us. I don't know what time it is over there, but hopefully it's reasonable. All right. Chris is chiming in on Facebook saying, hi, guys. Any chance that we could see in a future update the ability to organize your overlay graphics in folders for the Multicam app? Chris, I love this question. This is a great question. This is definitely something that has come up already. It's definitely something we've brought up to the team as well. So it's just a matter of just creating it and establishing it. But it's definitely something that's on the docket for us, and it's in the request book for sure. And I love the idea. It would make a lot of sense just to have all your photos grouped in one spot. C Shong says hi. Okay, Fred Hippo, use the code Fred to check out for 5% off. I'm not sure if we're allowing that, but Fred's been so nice to us. Maybe we'll let it slide. Maybe Joe can chime in on that. But perfect example, right? Fred signed up for the referral program. He can now share that with his friends and family and get them a little bit of discount and get a little bit kickback on his end as well. Okay, Jose is asking, are there any new updates? Oh, deleted it. Okay. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, we can't really support, spamming, that kind of stuff, but no harm, no foul, Fred. We got you. All right. Jose saying, any new updates? So the latest update, if you're on the Mevo Multicam app, was 1.3. If you're on the Mevo 2.0 app, it's actually 2.7 now. And the big updates there was the refresh look, right? So we rebranded our apps to represent Logitech right now, as you can see my Logi shirt today. And we also added NDI 5 and some other Rtmp bug fixes. Nothing major from there. I think NDI was really the most major change in the most recent update, Chris. And I'll just let you know, we do have updates coming up. And there's a couple of really cool things that are planned and I've tested, and they still have some kinks to work out, but once they are, we'll get them to you. All right, Andrew McBride saying hello from Vancouver. Awesome. I love to hear our friends up north chiming in. Gordon says tuning in from Arkansas. Great. Dave, hello everyone. Hi, Dave. German, hi. Fred is the new Mevo t-shirt. It's actually an old Mevo t-shirt, but it has the Logitech logo on it too, which is pretty cool. Hello, here for the win. Brian is just here for the contest. That's fine. Got to participate though. Get your name in there. Get your name on the list. Ben Beckner, of course. Hi, Ben. How are you? All right. Johnny says, why do the Mevo Starts not record the audio even if muted? They could be useful for future edits. I produce Multicam, would love to have more options. Yeah, I think so. What you're asking here is whatever happens in your Mevo application is going to affect your recording, separating the two. So having a separate audio recording away from what you're broadcasting, I think that's a great idea. But now you're starting to get into a little bit more complicated of routing and splitting audio signals. So that is something we'd have to look into. They're sick of hearing audio gripes from me, so this is something I'm definitely going to push for. I think it's a great idea, especially if you're doing multicam and you want to split up your recordings and you want to, edit your audio separately. If you're really doing that type of production, this would be very useful. So, Johnny, it's not available right now, but thank you for that suggestion. Okay, let's see here. Got it. Copy. Okay. Jack's asking about Mevo merch. I wish we could sell Mevo merch. I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe that's an avenue we can visit. Chandra says, I need a customer service number. I have 2 Mevos and I can't get them to work with my iPad. I've tried calling over the last 5 months. Okay, so Chandra, thank you for joining the show here, and thank you for reaching out, because we don't have a customer service number. So that's would be why it's not working. If you do need to reach us, go to help.mevo.com, open up a ticket with us, and what you're going to want to do in that ticket is include as much information you can. So if you have a video demonstration of the issue, if you can take like a secondary device and film what you're doing as far as connecting the Mevo to the iPad, that's super helpful, because then we can see what's going on. A couple of things you want to check. Are the Mevos connected to the same Wi-Fi network as the iPad? Has everything been configured correctly? We do have articles for this. If you just type in, I'm pretty sure if you just type in how to connect in Mevo, help.mevo.com, you should see articles for that. There's great multicam articles showing you how to connect as well. If the Mevos do not work with the iPad at all, no matter what app you're using, check and see what age of the iPad it is. So if it's an older iPad and it doesn't have the RAM capability to run the Mevo apps, that could be an issue. So there's a number of different things that we need to look at for that, Chandra. So please open up a ticket with us, help.mevo.com. All right. Glenn, hello from the Netherlands. Awesome. I love that the show is global. This is really great. Jason coming in with a question. Is there a quality or clean difference between using 3.5 or USB-C audio? Great question, Jason. I love this question. I get it a lot, actually. So here's the thing. If you're using analog audio, you are more susceptible to analog interference. For example, maybe some of you have experienced this. If you're listening to a speaker and then you have your phone next to that speaker or microphone, and you start hearing the little pops and clicks like the phone's about to ring, and then you get a text message or something like that, that's analog interference that you're probably not going to get with the USB connection. Power, grounding issues are less with USB connections. Now, the only issue is running the USB device, right? So if you're connecting through 3.5 millimeter audio, it opens up that USB port for allow you to connect your PoE or connect power. Personally, I always use the 3.5 input. It just allows me to do a couple more things with my setup. I have a lot of mixers and headphone amps, and I have a lot of Mevos and mics. So I try and connect everything in one solid spot where I could just control everything from my mixer. The 3.5 allows me to do that and allows me to split signals to other Mevos as well. So as far as cleanliness, yeah, USB would definitely be cleaner depending on your situation. If you're around a lot of interference. Generally, you're not going to hear a difference. All right, Leo, can I use an iPhone camera while controlling Mevo 2.7 and to record and stream? No. iPhone, you cannot multitask with a camera like that while using the Mevo app. You might be able to do it on an iPad. That's a great question for Will. I don't know if you can actually activate the camera without it affecting the Mevo. That's something I actually haven't, that scenario, Leo, I haven't tested, so we'll have to test that out. Chandra says you were the one I emailed, and well, I have not heard back. Sure, we'll definitely look at it. If you haven't heard back yet, and we may not have gotten to it yet. If we didn't see your if we didn't see anything, if you didn't get any response from us, we might not have gotten it. But definitely try again, and we'll absolutely look for it. So Chandra, try again. Is there any advantage to using mobile hotspot when using Mevo hotspot and a phone? So you're talking about two different things. All right, Gordon, thanks for that question. So if you're using the Mevo hotspot, what's happening is you're actually connecting your phone to the Mevo's Wi-Fi signal, essentially, the hotspot signal. Now, when you're doing that, that allows the Mevo to use the phone's LTE data, so you're not actually using the phone's hotspot. And I know that can be confusing, but cell phones have or devices, cell phones, iPads, whatever, they have the ability to do a mobile hotspot where they'll send out a Wi-Fi signal that other things can pick up, laptops, computers, etc. That's not what we're using. that's a different signal path than the LTE signal. In a lot of cases, the mobile hotspot path is limited. A lot of times, based on your internet plan, you might have like a 2 gig, 10 gig, 5 gig, whatever the plan may be. Whereas if you have your normal LTE signal, may be unlimited. So it's usually better off going that way. So the advantage would be not needing a Wi-Fi signal if you're using the Mevo hotspot. So if you're out in the field, I know a lot of people are doing sports, and you need to broadcast. If you have a good LTE signal, you can hook up the Mevos directly to that using the Mevo hotspot, and you could do that in Multicam and in the single cam app as well. Okay, Johnny says, confirmed, I am unable to record directly to the SD card on my tablet, especially problematic when you have limited space on the internal storage. Okay, so do you have SD cards inserted into your Mevo? If you're using the Multicam app, there's a couple of things that happen. So in the Multicam app, when you're recording, you can record to the device. So let me restart. In the Multicam app, when you're the edited recording, so the live edits, whatever changes and stuff that you are making, that version of the recording will get recorded onto the device. The individual ISO recordings can get recorded to each individual camera's SD cards. Now that's a setting you have to set. And in that case, you would get each individual angle. As far as recording to the device, yes, storage is an issue. You need to have double the amount of storage than what is going to be taken up by the recording. So for example, if you're recording, if your overall recording is 2 gigs, your iPad apps will need 4 gigs of storage free for it to write to it. And that's just a characteristic of the Mevo. Okay. David Messi says, talking to Jason, love your stuff. Yeah, Jason's stuff is great. If you haven't seen Jason's stuff on YouTube, Jason Hoffman, he does awesome stuff. Clark saying hello from New Jersey. Hi Clark, how are you doing? Fred, no worries. It's okay, Fred. We are your friends and family. That's true. That is true, Fred. Okay, great. Okay. Jason is saying he loves being in the Logifold, but he has some opinions about the branding colors. Well, good thing about branding colors is really, they don't really matter. Johnny, can you copy overlays and graphics direct to and from Mevo, perhaps via the SD card? That's a great question, Johnny. It seems like you want to do a little bit more availability with graphics, which they are a little bit limited. So you cannot copy overlays from one Mevo to another. The way I would do that, if I were you, it was to set up a Google Drive on your or some type of drive on tablet or phone, whatever you're using. Save a folder there, and then whatever Mevo is connected to that device, you can pull, you can download and pull from there. So that's kind of how I do it. I tend to use a bunch of different devices when I'm using my Mevo, so I keep all my graphics in a Google Drive, so I have access to them from any device. So you just download them onto the phone, and you can pop them onto the Mevo. That would be the best way to do it at this time, because there's no, inter Mevo folder system yet. All right. Hercules, transfer Mevo to my iMac, QuickTime. I'll send a ticket. Yeah. Let us know what's going on. If you're transferring videos, the MP4s, and you're not able to edit them in a third-party editor, that's super weird. So definitely open up a ticket with us. We can dive into that. David Massey said, I am seeing that to keep Facebook from shutting off live stream, you can put a disclaimer on your stream. How do I do this? That's news to me, Dave. I don't know what that means. So to keep Facebook from shutting off live streams, you can put a disclaimer on your stream. The only thing I know of that would affect that would be your age selection. So if you select, I think 13 or over, it's technically public. Where if you do like 25 or over, technically it gets it's not considered public anymore because there's a limitation. I'd have to look more into that on the Facebook side. So we'll take a closer look at that, Dave. Thank you for bringing that up. That's the first time heard of it. Oh, Joe Mevo saying he loves the orange. Yeah. Okay. Actually, Joe's chiming in right here. Perfect. So he's saying that Facebook, nor Facebook or YouTube, they do not check for copyright disclaimers no matter what others may tell you. Okay. So Dave, looks like that's just hearsay. And you can test it yourself if you want. Start a stream, play some music, see what happens. Facebook definitely cracks down, especially, so this it's a good thing to talk about. If you're new to streaming and you want to start streaming things and you want to include music in your streams, the algorithms will pretty much shut those down almost immediately, based on the on the music you're using. So if it's copyrighted, if it's all those algorithms catch all that kind of stuff. So if you're wondering why your streamings are getting cut off and you're playing music, that's likely the reason. Okay. How is the picture-in-picture coming along? Mark says from Facebook. This is a great question. So it's definitely something we are trying to accomplish. I don't have any updates on that. Actually, I haven't heard any news on that for a while. There's just been a couple other things taking precedence, but I see no reason why they're not going to do it. So hopefully it's coming soon. That's not one I've tested or anything that though, so that's not quite ready yet. Jim's saying has a long one. Let me just take a look. Nope, we can go past that one. That's probably a ticket. All right. Jack says, when's the next coming soon? Not sure what you mean by Jack, but there's always stuff coming soon. I mean, if you follow Mevo, let's see, I started with Mevo at the beginning of this year, and we've done. I mean, when I started, Multicam wasn't even a thing yet, really. It was like in its first instances of beta, and now it's out, and you can do a million things with it. It's amazing. So, coming soon is relative. It actually comes pretty quick. Fred, can we get a feature to play YouTube videos, regular videos in Multicam? Yeah, and that's Fred. That's a feature of that's kind of goes hand in hand with that picture-in-picture feature. A lot of people are wanting us to bring in like browser sources or stuff like that. So essentially, what we're discussing, right, is turning the Mevo internal app into a full-scale broadcasting system, which is very awesome, and it's something we do want to do, but we also don't want to lose sight of what the Mevo was built for, right? It was built for easiness, right? So there's definitely a line to be walked there for that kind of stuff. But I do, I'm a feature maniac, so give me more features. So it looks like Victor is asking about the contest. Sure. Thanks for asking. Let's talk about it. So we have a contest, not really a contest. It's more of a giveaway, more of a raffle. And we do this twice a month. And so the next drawing will be next Thursday. And here's how to enter. All you have to do is participate on the live shows, and then we go back, we look at the participants, and we add your name to a raffle. Then we spin the wheel, and winners win Amiibo Start. Now, we do this bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks, twice a month. You can't win twice in the same month, but you can win multiple times. So we encourage engagement on our shows, and this is a way we can reward you for that. So thanks for asking that and allowing me to pull up my plug. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Jack is asking, can there be a feature to manually move around imported graphics? That's a great question too. So I feel like the main discussion today is the graphics, really. I mean, expanding what the graphics can do. Jack, I love that idea. So right now, for those who don't understand what he's asking, on the Mevo graphics, you're limited as to where you can put them. So for example, we have set up like a lower third. So if I want to add my lower third, this is a specific lower third size right here. I can't change this up, right? I can't change what position it is or where it is on the screen. However, there is a workaround, Jack. If you're creating your own graphics and you're creating transparent background PDFs, right? You can pre-make your graphics and have any of your graphics wherever you want on the screen, and use the full scale PDF that's transparent, and then you can pop your graphics literally wherever you want. The Mevo graphics are specific to the full frame, over the shoulder, and a lower third. And then obviously that's just because those tend to be the most popular use case scenarios, especially if you're doing any type of online streaming, show, things like that. Interview. Okay. Okay. All right. Christina from Facebook is asking, do I need to download the Mevo app to use OBS on HP laptop? So yes, you do. So here's why. You need to download the Mevo app to enable certain modes of how you want to use the Mevo with OBS. So there's 3 ways you can do it. You can do wired webcam, which is called webcam mode, which you have to enable in the Mevo app, or you can actually double tap the power button. A lot of you might not even know this. You can double tap the power button and that'll turn webcam mode on. So if you don't have the app available and you just want to do it quick and plug it in, you can absolutely do that. For wireless webcam, you actually don't need the app. It just can't. You just need to be connected to the same network. So you still would need the app to connect your Mevo to your network. So in that case, yes, you actually do need the app. And then if you're using NDI, of course, you do need the app to enable the NDI feature. Now, once all that is set up in the app, you can leave it. So once those settings are set, the unit will remember the settings, and you don't have to do it again. But the initial setup, you do need the Mevo app for sure. Okay. Jack is asking, does simultaneous recording to the device and live streaming increase the load of the device and risk hindering the streaming process? So let me see. Does simultaneously recording on the device? No, because what's happening is it's two different pathways, right? So it's two road split. Like basically you're splitting your signal to recording, you're splitting your signal to streaming. The camera is built to do that, and it's actually a native aspect of the camera. Like right when you start streaming, it'll start recording, and it'll ask you if you want to keep the recording process. If you want to keep the recording when you're done streaming. So I wouldn't worry about your load on the device at all with that. It's built for it. That's really the purpose of it. All right, Fred, with multi-destination streaming come to multicam, or is that a feature that is not easy to add? So well, Fred, what you can do is you can connect through Vimeo or Rtmp to restream, which would be the case regardless, right? So to have it come directly native into the app, I think that's something that they have mentioned. I don't have like a production date on whether or not that'll be available in the multicam app. I don't see why it wouldn't be though. But yeah, it is a little bit more work that goes into it, and you have to incorporate a third party, whether it be Vimeo Restream. So setting that up is a little bit more. Does the disclaimer really work? No. Besides using the Vimeo or oh, okay, just yeah, no, natively. I mean, but even if you're doing, Fred the Hippo is asking, just besides Vimeo Restream as far as multi-destination streaming, even when you're multi-destination streaming on the Mevo app, you're still using Vimeo. So keep that in mind. All right. Is it possible to switch to the old multicam out layout, like an option to go back and forth? Not at this time, Jack, but maybe expand on that a little bit. Maybe, shoot us a help.mevo suggestion, help.mevo.com. So essentially what you're saying is you probably want to go between portrait and landscape. The old app was a portrait mode. But as right now, everything's kind of where it is. No way to move it around. Okay. Victor said he didn't think of the ISO recordings for each camera. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're doing any type of post-editing, Victor, the ISO recordings are a huge plus. Huge plus. Oh, lost my spot. Hold on. Cool. Got it back. All right. And Christina is saying, I have a Mevo Plus now. If I get the Mevo Start, can I use them both? Great question, Christina. Absolutely. So if you have the Mevo Multicam app, that'll work with every iteration of the Mevo camera. So no worries there. Heine's, is that Switzerland? I see. Hello from Switzerland. See, Johnny saying, the question about internal SD card storage about my tablet, not the Meevos. Right, correct. Have an SD card to extend the... Oh, copy. You have an SD card to extend the tablet's limited internal storage, but can't use it at all. Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, you can't record to the device's SD card on the tablet, unfortunately, at this time. It just goes right to the device memory. That makes sense, Johnny. That's something that, we can bring up with our developers and see if they can come up with a better solution for that. All right. Honey, is it possible to automatically restart an Rtmp stream after timeout? So this depends. So for example, so right now I'm streaming to Rtmp through Restream. If, let's say, Facebook drops out, I'm still going to Restream. I can continue. Let's say my camera drops out, then it's going to stop the stream if I lose connection. So essentially what happens is if you lose connection, it'll try and reconnect for 30 seconds. And what it'll do is it'll continue to record for 30 seconds as well for the lag. After that 30 seconds is up, if the connection isn't established and the dropout is completely dropped out, then the stream's going to stop. There's no way around that. So hopefully that answers that question. Okay. So Ben's asking, in regards to building graphics, Multicam will pull graphic options from your camera, but the 2.0 app allows you to use other folders. Any chances of allowing? Yeah, that just might be a limitation of the app right now, Ben. So basically saying is you can pull from different sources in the 2.0 app to the Multicam app. I haven't compared those two, but if you're saying we can't, then I'm going to believe you. But it's a good call out. It might be something that just hasn't been looked at yet. Christopher saying, if I set up Facebook Live event, is there any way to start the live event through the app, or can I only do that through NDI setup by using the events link? So you don't need an NDI setup. You could start the live event from your mobile device that's running the Mevo. So basically, if you're going stream to your Facebook Live event, Rtmp, and then from the browser app on your phone, you can just go to the event and start the stream there. That would be the way I would do it. Okay. Okay. All right. Johnny says soon, my favorite Mevo word. Yeah, I mean, you can't put time frames on these. I mean, think about it. We have to come up with how something works, make it, develop it to work, and then analyze it and figure out all the reasons why it's not working. And then we can release it. And then we got to update and maintain it from there because there's probably a million other things that we didn't notice. So soon is definitely the broad way to go. Sorry, Johnny. Okay. LC Campbell, what about audio recording directly into the iPad rather than going to one of their cameras? So that's an option. If you're using Multicam, you cannot do that. So if you're using the Multicam app, it does not pull audio from the device running the app, because what the Multicam app is doing is pulling audio from the cameras themselves, those inputs. If you're using the Mevo 2.0, you can absolutely record using the, you can get audio in using the device. And I just don't think you can have another program running to record it separately, if that's what you were asking. And that, so record directly into an iPad rather than through one of the cameras. Yeah, I mean, it would still record onto the recording for the Mevo. Like, it would still be an input into the Mevo, but you can, if you're using the Mevo 2.0 app, you can absolutely use the device audio to do that. Okay. David says he's in a church setting and Facebook shuts us down this week for the music tune. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they will definitely do that. If that's the case, you just have to mute the audio during music segments at church, unfortunately. Tony's coming in saying cool giveaway. It is a cool giveaway. Thank you. So see, do we need to be in the stream to win on the day of the drawing? So questions about the giveaway from Victor there? No, you don't. Just it's helpful if you are, because if you do win, you get notified about it. But you don't have to be in the stream at the time. Just participate in the streams for I believe it's the 4 weeks prior, and then we calculate it from there. Okay, so let's see. Let me read through this one. This is Glenn on Facebook. It's a little lengthy, so let me just take a look. I want to use my Meevo Plus as an additional camera next to a 6-channel video switcher for live streaming OBS. For that, I've installed 10 days trial of a plugin called GoPro to OBS. Okay. So, all right, great. This is actually a pretty awesome question. So what Glenn's asking is, he has a 6-channel video switcher with 6 PTZ, pan, tilt, zoom cameras for live streaming in OBS. For that, he's installed a plugin to get those to work. So if you have the original Meevo Plus and you want to bring that into OBS, there's actually a couple ways you can do it. Instead of using NDI, because obviously you can't use NDI with the Meevo Plus, you can bring the camera itself into OBS using webcam mode or wireless webcam mode. So this will allow you to get the Meevo Plus into OBS without having to use it with any type of other switchers and not needing to use NDI. So that's the way I would go. As far as us coming up with a brand new app to sidechain the Plus NDI into OBS, that's not likely to happen. All right, let's keep going. So Chris from YouTube is saying, I appreciate the ability to reorder the presentations once uploaded. Right now you have to upload them in reverse presentation order to control where they show up on the grid. Yeah, so this is, Chris, are you referencing Multicam app on this? If so, then yeah, that is kind of the scenario. So whatever you click first, and like whatever order you click your slides in is the order they'll show up. So you can actually kind of set that up if you're savvy with it, to where like you're just clicking slides off and then the other slide underneath keeps coming as like your next slide. So basically your earliest slide you want on top, your latest slide you want on the bottom. In the Mevo application, so if you're not using the Multicam application, you can actually create a slideshow. And we have a great article in help.mevo.com. There's a show for there's an article about slideshow presentations. So what you can actually do is upload, and I'll actually give you an example of it. So Let me go here, for example. All right, so over here on my, let me go this way. There's a slideshow presentation there that I can actually click through. And this is a PDF slideshow presentation. So this is a feature of the Mevo app, but it's not available yet on the Multicam app. And this is something I really hope that we have soon because I do like to use it all the time. And obviously you can see me sliding through it, but you can also take that into the full screen. And then I can slide through things using the full screen. So there are a couple workarounds, but it would be nice to have that slideshow feature in the Multicam app as well. Hatham says, can we get the app capabilities on a PC, like the zoom configuration, video white balance, etc.? I think it's a great idea. Right now, it's a mobile platform app only, so it's just Android and iOS. The good news is you can control all of those things while connected to a PC. So if you are connected via NDI, wired webcam, or wireless webcam, all those features are still intact. So you can still zoom, you can still change up your image adjustment settings. You can still do all your production gestures and stuff like that. So we don't have an actual desktop app, but the Mevo app works just the same. Okay. So Ben is saying that using Rtmp, he's having less issues with copyright. I mean, let's just be clear, hands down, copyright issues and copyright catches in algorithms exist, and whether you're going Rtmp or not, they will be caught. So do what you can with that. Fred the Hippo, is there a shortcut like that to toggle the Meeple in and out of Ndi mode? A shortcut like what? You can toggle Ndi mode, but that would require the whole process to restart. So if you're streaming and you want to go to NDI, you'd have to stop streaming. All right. Victor says NDI for the win. I mainly use the Mevo Start with NDI and love it. Yeah, I mean, NDI is just one of the coolest things you can do with the Mevo Start. Oh, Joe's chiming in. He says, is there a shortcut like double tapping? Oh, Joe, thanks for that clarification and understanding that better than I did. So what Fred's asking is there a shortcut to toggle in and out of NDI mode like you can toggling in and out of webcam mode by tapping the button? Not at this time. Also keep in mind there's only one button. So we gotta make it do something. But that would be cool. I would love like a little switch or something that I could turn NDI on, turn NDI off. Speaking of, like Victor says, he's using NDI. He loves it. So for those of you who aren't familiar with NDI it's just another mode that the Meevo can send audio and video to different sources. So you can send all the Meevo package basically to a computer wirelessly. That's essentially what you're doing with NDI, and it's awesome because there's really no limitation to it. All right. We're responding to Jim. Great. So Christian from YouTube is asking, he's realizing the Meevo Boost is discontinued and some reports charging problems of older units. It's Meevo recommendations on charging. Is it advisable to leave the boost plugged in all the time? So this is a great question because we do have Meevos that we run 24/7 that are always plugged in. We do have Meevos on boost that we run pretty much 24/7. As a general battery question, you don't want something plugged into your battery all the time. You want to run your battery down and charge it back up. So as far as like longevity of the Meevo Boost, I mean, everyone's gonna have a different experience based on their usage. So I don't really have any recommendations for you on charging. I would just, me personally, most of my Meevos are always plugged into a PoE switch or something, so they're always plugged in. The ones I don't plug in, I generally wait till they drop down pretty low before I charge them again. Fred's asking if you can resell us your Meevo Boost. No, but you could sell it to somebody else. All right. Looks like that's being handled. Great. Okay. Oh, Ben's just saying you would to Fred, you would have no issue selling to the group. I'm sure that's fine if you do that on the side. Just don't be using our group to buy and sell things. It's against the rules. Jack says, how do you get external sound effects from an iPhone to a Mevo? Great question, Jack. So what you want to do is you want to bring in the iPhone as a source into your Mevo. The best way to do that, or the easiest way to do that, would be to just plug in through the 3.5 millimeter input in the back. So if you have an iPhone, you're probably going to need a Lightning to 3.5 adapter. And then from there, you can just control it and just use it as an audio source. If you have multicam, you can do that as well. Hook it up to one of the Mevos that isn't your prime audio source, and that could be a separate audio source. So if you go to help.mevo.com, go to the Mevo audio mixer article, it kind of breaks down how to add and remove sources, which should explain that for you. Okay, so it looks like we have some other questions going on, intergroup questions. Great. Joe's chiming in. Yep, private sales are not permitted in the group. Any Mevo team internships? Not at this time, Fred, and I think you've pretty much signed up for about everything we have to offer. So sorry we can't give you an internship at this time, but the referral program is kind of the best thing we can do as far as getting you something. Trinity says, is there now a PC app? Last time I checked, it was still in beta. Okay, thanks Trinity for this question. Trinity UCC Collegeville. We do have a webcam app. It is still in beta. And the reason why is because we're still working out different ways to develop it. So right now you can absolutely use your Mevo as a wired webcam using webcam mode, which is a setting in your Mevo settings. And that's through USB. You can absolutely use your Mevo as a wireless webcam. So if you go to mevo.com, and I believe it's either /getwebcam or just if you click on apps and click webcam, the download is right there. And you could, for PC or Mac, you can use this as a wireless webcam currently. It is still technically in beta, but it works great. I use it all the time. I literally use it every day. Let's see. Carl says, enjoying the Mevo Start and Amiibo, but still use the Mevo 2.0. Multicam is not user-friendly. Well, Carl, I'm sorry you don't think multicam is user-friendly. I mean, maybe I would maybe ask our other groups, or maybe ask some of the people even in this discussion today how they use multicam, because I know we have a lot of people using it for pretty frequently and pretty regularly and have great success with it. So facebook.com Mevo customer group, it's a great spot to start. I would maybe see what other people are doing. Jack says, can we have a preview and live screen studio mode like in multicam? Oh, in multicam. Yeah, yeah, like a preview and then like a program out screen. We've talked about that as well. That's definitely on our feature request list for sure. Thanks for that, Jack. Jack is killing it today, guys. Just give Jack some love. Victor says you didn't know you could do a slideshow. Yeah. We're answering all kinds of questions for you today, Victor. So, yeah, you can absolutely do PDF slideshows. Make sure you're exporting your files as PDFs, not PNGs. Andrew is saying, use the Mevo mic app on a separate device to put audio in the Mevo multicam app. Yep, absolutely, you can do that. That way you don't need to connect an audio to a camera. 100%. Mevo mic app is a great companion to both the multicam and the Mevo app. Jack's saying, any time frame of when PDF slideshows come to Mevo? Well, PDF slideshows are at Mevo. They're just not in the multicam app. They are in the Mevo single cam app, though. All right. Yes, Trinity. You asked the question of the day. So with Trinity UCC Collegeville says, I have no idea what NGI, I believe you mean NDI is. How do I connect my iPad to my PC, for example? So you technically wouldn't be connecting your iPad to the PC. You're connecting your Mevo to the PC. And then you're controlling it with the iPad. So you're connecting the iPad. So as long as everything's on the same network, everything can talk to each other. So connect your Mevo to your Wi-Fi network, connect your iPad to your Wi-Fi network, open up NDI, and it's not as simple as just opening it up, right? You're going to have to download some NDI tools on your computer, and you'll have to go through that process. So if you go to help.mevo.com, type in NDI, you will find there two articles. One's going to say NDI, NDI-HX, which really breaks down just how to set up NDI, and one gives you a walkthrough of what it looks like when you actually connect NDI to your computer. So that's where I would start if you're looking to get into NDI, and they're both very detailed. Thank you, Trinity. So we use Mevo for worship, Facebook, YouTube, and it's really rough to work only from the iPad, but we can't use it as a phone. It's a church account. All right, so Trinity, we maybe open up a ticket with us and just give us a more explanation of your setup. The fact that you're saying it's really rough to work from the iPad, you're not going to gain any controls adding this to a computer. You're still going to have to control everything from the iPad, unless you're setting up like a whole OBS session where you're changing your scenes inside the computer program and you're using the Mevo just as a camera input. But if you want more advice on that, I would maybe open up a ticket with us at help.mevo.com, or go to our Facebook group, Mevo Camera Customer Group, and I mean, it's packed with people that use this for houses of worship, and they can really break down some of the best case scenarios and some of the best practices that they use. Johnny says double tap can be configured for other actions. It absolutely can be. You can double tap for to start the recording or start the stream. Jose says, how much do you guys recommend for uploads connected directly to Ethernet? How much you guys recommend for uploads connected directly to Ethernet adapter using NDI on OBS or Wirecast? Jose, maybe rephrase that question. Not sure what you're asking for. Maybe how much bandwidth we're looking for, or how much internet speeds. Let us know. How many cameras? Let me know. Are applying 3 Mevo cameras. Trying to follow you, Jose, but maybe try again. All right, Fred the Hippo. I've been using Ndi Mode with 4 Mevos and OBS. It's been working great. Awesome. And allows for a lot more creativity. Sure, absolutely. It definitely, having the Mevos and using them as an input into a broadcast system like OBS, all it does is open up doors. Yes, it is complicated at first, but once you start getting into it, you know, it just becomes second nature, and it does open up doors as far as your capabilities for your stream. Ben is just Ben, I mean, you have a good point, but it's just I can't advise people. So what he's saying, he's not advocating for skirting copyright laws, which I agree, but the algorithms sometimes don't pick up as much on an Rtmp stream, I'm guessing, and it's helped Ben from getting a stream shut down. Sure, but it's still an obstacle, right? So I would just eliminate the obstacle completely and just not use it. Leo says, if we could add 2 or more layers of full screen graphics, then we could super scores over. Yeah, I mean, Leo, you're not wrong. The issue with the graphics is it seems like everybody wants these to be these type of editable graphic scenarios to be happening on the Mevo. Unfortunately, that's a big overtaking, and you can't just like download Photoshop onto the Mevo, right? So what I would suggest is get to know PNG transparent graphics, make those ahead of time, and if you add those in, you could really open up doors as far as scoreboards and alerts and notifications or whatever you want to put on the screen. Will does a great demonstration. It's on YouTube. It's one of his multicam demonstrations where he really goes through how to create PNG graphics and add them to the stream. He does a great like makeshift scoreboard scenario. He does some awesome stuff with that. So it's just a matter of it's the same amount of work. You just got to do it in a different program first. Get your graphics finalized, then bring them into the Mevo. All right, Tatham is saying, what about getting Mevo authorized to work on Logitech Capture? Oh, like with G-Hub and stuff like that? I don't know. That's something that we'll have to discuss, and we'll have to see what happens down the road. I mean, I'm sure that would be an awesome... Excuse me. I'm sure that would be an awesome way to connect everything together. Scott says, any updates on when we can add video files to a feed? Scott, no updates at this time, but it is definitely something that we are looking into and working on. All right. So we're saying people just, if Multicam needs some more features, yeah, I mean, put them in here. They're not going to be established the next day, but let us know what you want to see in Multicam. I want to hear what you want to see. We have our feature request list is pretty vast, so it's just a matter of weeding them out, prioritizing them. Tell us what you guys want to see most. We seem to be having a lot of conversation today about graphics, right? So if that's really important to you, let us know. Let us know for sure. All right, so all right, guys, thanks. I'm just going through the questions here. It seems like some conversations going on, side combos. All right, Fred the Hippo, is there a way to Rtmp from Multicam to OBS? I would assume there's no built-in Rtmp capabilities on the computer, right? So what you're saying here, Fred, is you need to establish a server for the Rtmp server. We actually do have an article about this. So Fred, if you go to help.meevo.com, which you know, just type in multicam and then OBS. And one of the first articles that should pop up should be the article that explains on how to set that up. It is definitely more complicated than like the Mevo 2.0 app. Okay. Does Mevo need to give you a raise so you can buy a new hat? Okay, I knew this was going to come up eventually, Ben. All right, but I generally don't wear the hat. I have a reason for wearing the hat. My hair is going to be extremely long over the next couple months. I'm kind of working on a thing for a friend, and I'm a good friend. So this hat's been with me forever. This is a Can-Am hockey hat. If anyone been in a Can-Am tournament, I love this hat. All right, Jose. So Jose, bandwidth. Okay, sorry. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So I mean, if you have 10 megabytes per second upload speed, you're good with that as far as your bandwidth. I mean, you're only going to be doing 6 megabytes per second output. You could do, I think, up to 1080p high on multicam. I think you could do 10 megabytes per second. I'd have to double check that, but you know, it's limited as far as the output. So as long as your capabilities are above 10 megabytes per second, you should be in pretty good shape for 1080p video. Awesome. All right. Are these events recorded and available at a later time? Yes, absolutely, David. So David on Facebook is asking if our live shows are still on the web. Yes, they are. They're everywhere. They'll stay wherever they land. So on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Twitch has a 24/7 just recording loop going on with all of our live shows. So you can just hop in there and see what you get. YouTube, you can kind of parse them out a little bit. And then on Facebook, it's based off the date of when it was posted, but they're all there. All right. All right. Some suggestions. Some people recommending some things like Touch Portal as an alternative to Stream Deck. So what Fred is talking about there, for those of you that are using OBS, there's a product called the Stream Deck, which basically is switches, just tactical switches that you can use to change through your scenes. There's a ton of apps that do that as well, and Fred's suggesting some there. That's on YouTube if you're not watching on YouTube. So it must be fun. We talk about Fred all the time. For those watching on Twitch and Facebook, if you don't know who we're talking about Fred the Hippo, and he is one of our prime users on YouTube. All right, Christopher said, would love a transition option when switching between graphics, similar to switching between cameras in a multicam app. Fade, yeah, transition for specific graphics would be cool. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Chris, as well. I think just overall graphics, I mean, I think that the graphics avenue, we can go down that rabbit hole forever with all the things you can do with that. But, you know, noted. It's heard for sure. Awesome. So Victor is saying he used the Mevo Start app. It's amazing. It's been very mobile. He uses it with the Mac and Ecamm. Awesome. So for those of you wondering if the Mevo works with Ecamm Live, it absolutely does. So if he wants to do it, and it's not so mobile, right? So yeah, I mean, there's no way to go directly from the Mevo to Ecamm, right? You have to use it in webcam mode. So this is actually a great point, Victor. Thanks for bringing this up. So a lot of people confuse the differences between like Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and things like Zoom, Google Meets, and Ecamm. There's conferencing platforms, and then there's streaming platforms, right? So if you're on a streaming platform, you can generally go directly from the Mevo. If they accept Rtmp, you can send signal that way. Platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, Ecamm Live, they're looking for the local video feed from like a webcam or an NDI source. You're not actually streaming to those platforms, so it's a little bit different of a setup. So I understand, Victor, what you're saying. It's not as mobile because obviously you're gonna need a laptop as well. But there's a lot of different avenues you can go though. So cool. I work with what I have. I do the same. Great. No raises. No raises. Oh man. That's unfortunate. All right. Trinity UCC Collegeville is coming in. Right now we stream to Facebook and YouTube using Vimeo. All right. And Rtmp for the YouTube stream, of course. If we use NDI and connect through the PC, is it still considered a mobile stream? You know, Trinity, that is a great question. I'm pretty sure that if you have less than 1,000 subscribers and you're coming into YouTube, either way, you're going to have to go Rtmp. Sorry, let me retract that. So if you're going NDI to your computer, you're going to have to stream to YouTube via the Rtmp through like OBS or something like that. Maybe someone can chime in here. Maybe someone who knows YouTube a little bit better. If you can go like webcam direct into YouTube, and if that matters for the 1,000 subscribers, I don't know. Because I know on Facebook you can choose your webcam as an option instead of going Rtmp. I'm not sure if you can do it on YouTube. I'd have to research that, Trinity. That would take some looking into. But thank you for that question. Okay. When using multicam, is it possible to do some zooming in or out on the camera which is recording? Yes, you can do your zoom functions in multicam. It's a little bit more it's a separate option. So if you click the ellipsis, the 3 dots, I call it whatever it is, the 3 dots, and go to your menu in the multicam app for that specific camera, you can zoom in and out. Generally with those, I think you have to do it if you don't do it before the scene changes. I think there's like a blip. That's another thing I'd have to double check. That's a great question for Will. Will is our multicam expert, and I'm pretty sure he'll be around on Thursday. So maybe bring that up on Thursday. I know I say that a lot, but he knows more than I do. I don't want to give you a wrong answer. Or will YouTube allow us to stream regularly and add on YouTube? Yeah, so essentially what you want to do is, Trinity, with YouTube is you want to stream Rtmp. So send everything, even if you're using OBS, send it to Vimeo. From Vimeo, resend it to everywhere else, and you can send it to your YouTube using Rtmp, right? That same way. So that's the way I would go. Webcam mode will help us skip a step? No, because when you're using webcam mode, you're still connecting the camera to the computer, and you still got to send the feed somewhere. So whether you're sending it from the Mevo app or you're sending it from OBS, you still need to send it somewhere. So it's essentially the same. All right. Ben is saying you can go to Ecamm Live via NDI as well, as absolutely, but you can't stream to it, right? So if you can connect to your computer via NDI webcam mode, wireless webcam mode, but you can actually stream directly from the Mevo to Ecamm. So it kind of takes away that mobility. I seem to think Zoom can only change when you're away from the feed. Dave, that's a great question. I don't have a multicam set up right now to test, but I will test that and definitely bring it up next time Will's on the show. And we'll get back to that. Yeah, Ecamm works with NDI inputs, absolutely. Okay, so it looks like we're winding down. We're about 3 minutes to the hour, so let's wind it down here. So Jose is asking when's the next giveaway. It's going to be next Thursday, not this Thursday, because I'm pretty sure we did one last Thursday, and if I'm wrong, someone will correct me. And then the final question from Chris for today: will the Mevo cameras tolerate moisture when recording outdoors? We had a light drizzle prior to recording, but thankfully it stopped just in time. Okay, so here's what I'll say about moisture. I mean, just avoid it if you can. If you're going to be using the Mevo and there is a light rain, do your best to kind of cover the ins and outs of the Mevo. It is not rated for any type of weather, so I don't recommend using it there. And I'm getting confirmation. Absolutely, I'm not going crazy. I was right. The next drawing is going to be next Thursday, not this Thursday. So since we mentioned it, let's talk about it real quick. So what we're discussing here is the Mevo Start giveaway, and to enter, it's just a random drawing from participating in our live shows. So if you are commenting, we see a lot of you commenting today, that's how you participate. So not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday, we are going to do another drawing, and one of you will win a Mevo Start. And again, we do these bi-weekly. And can you win more than once? You absolutely can, just not in the same week. On top of that, one thing I didn't mention yet is the Mevo 3-pack, Mevo Start 3-pack. If you haven't seen that yet, we do have those. The Mevo Start 3-pack is a great deal. So it's essentially buying 2 Mevos and getting 1 for half off. And they all come together. That's available at mevo.com and on amazon.com as well, and our resellers. Oh. And Dan, I apologize, but I didn't get the graphic up in time. But to let everybody know, especially if you're still watching, if you need to buy a new Mevo, we actually have a sale going on. It's going on until this Saturday. The Mevo Start is $20 off at mevo.com. So it's something, if you want to save a couple bucks, get that extra Mevo, and this is the decision maker. Hopefully that puts you over the edge to go pick up a brand new Mevo from us. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone for joining and participating in today's show. It was awesome. Great conversation. I definitely took away that graphics are a huge thing that we need to put more focus on for multicam, and that seems to be the general consensus. So I'll make sure our dev team knows that as well. Let's see. Yep, we're talking about just weather resistance. Ben Beckner is absolutely correct, saying the Mevo Plus and Mevo Boost did have some weather resistance when they were connected because they sealed. If they weren't connected, that's not the case. But as of now, just keep the Mevo away from water. I mean, that's kind of my general rule for anything electronic. It just works out. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see everyone next time on either Ask Mevo Anything or on Mevo Live.